Hello friends, my name is Jignesh Trivedi. In this videos, I am going to explain about the Blazor. The Blazor is an experimental project and available with this .NET Core Framework 3.0. The Blazor is an .NET web framework that runs in any browser. The Blazor application runs in the browser on a real .NET runtimes, formerly called a Mono, via WebAssembly. WebAssembly WebAssembly isn't web standard which define a binary format just like a lower level assembly language. So it runs very fast. WebAssembly is developed at W3C and it supports almost all the browsers without any plugin. The Mono is a Microsoft .NET Framework implementation based on the ICMA standard for the C# and CLR. It runs time compiled into the WebAssembly. It it is a fast, usable, and open source, so that it is a great support from community. It runs under the browser without any plugin under the WebAssembly. One point I want to highlight over here: the Blazor is not an upgraded version of the Silverlight. It is not required any plugins to run the applications, so it is not a Silverlight. The Blazor is provide almost all the features to develop a web application such as routing, layout, server-side rendering, form validation, dependency injections, JavaScript intro, publishing, debugging support, etc. Let's see the high-level architecture diagrams of the Blazor. As we seen over here, the Blazor is worked within the browser sandbox. When the code is compiled and hosted to the browser, it is in form of the WebAssembly and loaded into the browser, and it's also loaded the supported DLLs to the browser and run using the WebAssembly. Mono creates the shader DOMs and it's synced to render DOM in sync with the render DOM means the browser DOMs. We can also write our custom JavaScript within the architectures. As I said, right, it is supported by almost all the modern browser. Right? Here is a support chart. So I accept I11, Opera, and Samsung Internet Browser. So it's the WebAssembly is supported by the all the browser. So our Blazor application can run on every browser. Let's see the demo first. I'm creating this demo applications in Visual Studio 2019. I'm creating a new project, and here I am selecting ASP.NET Core Web Application. It's containing the almost all the templates. Here I'm giving the name Blazor Test. So this is our project name. So it's our assembly name is become Blazor Test. Create application. Here we have two templates, Blazor and Blazor ASP.NET Core hosted. One is on client side and another is on server client applications. Let's create the client side applications. So it's create our project structure based on the templates. As we seen, it is almost same as ASP.NET Core MVC. Let's look at the startup page. Startup page is containing the bootstrap component of the our applications app.chhtml is a bootstrap component. So every page is loaded into the bootstrap component. The pages folder is containing our chhtml files. The www root folder is containing the customized css and the javascript files. Let's look at the counter.chhtml. So in these files we have three parts. One is a routing. This is a routing part. One is an HTMLs or customized HTML, right? Whatever the HTML we have. And third is in code sections. Let's look at the demo. I run my applications, and meanwhile I'm opening the console window so that we can see how many JavaScript files are loaded and refresh it. So as you see over here, some of the JavaScript files like the Blazor.js, Mono.js, and Mono runtimes, right, are loaded, and our application Blazor.test.dlls are also loaded in our application in the console. We can see, right. Apart from this, there is some supported DLLs, system.dll, systemcode.dll are loaded into the browser, and they are the code for that are run using the uh, mono.wasm files. Let's look at the demo counter. As you've seen over here, right, the browser is not refreshed. The browser application are made by the Razor views, and each Razor views files are considered as a Blazor component. This component is a .NET component and defined as a usable component of the web UI. Let's look at the code part. Right, we have three, as I already discussed, there are three parts: the page routing, page HTMLs, and code sections. Right, so at the rate functions are used for the defining the code sections. It is nothing but the directives, and using this directive we can define the component state such as in properties, method, event. And in the Blazor, every time when the event is occurred, the component that are generated, it generates its render tree, and the Blazor will compare it with this previous render tree and apply the modification only to the browser DOM. Uh, in the Blazor, we have an quite limited event binding. Currently, it supports only the on-click and on-change event. One more event are supported in the Blazor, that on some event. Using this event, we can handle the child component event into the parent component event. Okay. Apart from this, we can also create the Blazor application using the .NET CLI, .NET Core CLI, right? We have an if we are installing the template, these Blazor templates are available, and we can create using the .NET New command. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Thank you.